Hello, Capricorn. Um, Welcome to my Body and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm here to do the reading for what's left of March 2020. I hope you're well, Capricorn. I'm not gonna do the intro with astrology. You can look that up for yourself. Five of Wands is your current energy. I'll try to do this reading a little bit shorter. Wish me luck. So this is a general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. If it resonates, it resonates. And if it doesn't, then it's just not your reading. Nine of Cups is your challenge. Okay. Ten of Swords is your focus. All right. Two of Swords is your advice. It's an interesting reading. And Four of Pentacles is future energy. And we have the Wheel of Fortune as the underlying energy. Sorry guys, this morning I'm literally having my coffee with you right now, and words seem to not flow all that easy. Bear with me, please. Okay, now let's pull out the clarifiers before we go into this story. The Magician of the Five of Wands as your current energy. The Seven of Cups with the Nine of Cups as your challenge. Justice with the Ten of Swords as your focus. Okay. Four Swords with the Three of Cups as your advice, along with the Two of Swords. And beautifully, Ace of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles as your future energy. Nice. All right. Eight of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune as your underlying energy, the theme of this month. You're probably well into this energy by now. They don't necessarily stick to the 1 month rule. Sometimes, it's relative to when you actually see this reading and where you find yourself in that very moment. So with the Eight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, seems that you're going through some serious changes and fast-paced changes. Eight of Wands is very fast-moving energy. It's manifestation. It's when things start happening and they're happening fast. And it's also a little bit of like, careful what you wish for. It might actually happen. So, interestingly enough, be aware where you're putting your energy in general. That's all. And Wheel of Fortune, yeah, it talks about impermanence, things changing all the time. It's a good change. I think it may be a really good change for Capricorn. I see a sword here, and I see the Sphinx here with a sword. I think it's gonna bring in some type of clarity. It's related to your soul journey. I think that if you've been maybe stuck into your maybe daily life too much sometimes, and we tend to lose perspective, and for fuck's sake, Capricorn, we've been kind of hammered by all this attention and planets in your sign. Now South Node, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, and you had all the the planets transit through your sign as well. Well, not all of them, but there was quite a lot of intensity. But now Saturn is moving into Aquarius for 3 months, and it's going to come back into Capricorn. But I think that you can use this pressure that Saturn puts, yes, Saturn is your ruling planet, and it's usually good to have the ruler of the planet into the sign that it rules, but it's also it's really a lot of pressure. And you might have had a lot of pressure about making up systems that systems and structures to keep you stable financially. And yeah, maybe you had a lot of pressure about how your self-worth in relation to that, in relation to um, how you're being perceived by other people, in relation to your financial position and your status somehow. And that's not fun, is it? I mean, like, yeah, it's good to have pressure because it pressures us to grow and to expand and to also shed some beliefs that we maybe they're outdated or they don't serve us. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it can be quite a lot. So, I think there's a good change here with the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe you get into some luck as well, like simply having, if you're down on luck lately, maybe that will change. Okay, my love, what else do we have here with this month? But yeah, it's generally like fast-paced changes. And some of us do have changed better than others, and depends also where you find yourself. Sometimes we find ourselves in that position where like anything is better than this. Don't bet on that, but we can think that way. So it may welcome change quite well, but other times we're like, change, no, thank you. So yeah, let's see how that plays out for you. Depends a lot on yourself and where you find yourself in your journey. Current energy, you have the Five of Wands and the Magician. I'm thinking like, yeah, the competition side of this card shows up. Yeah, Capricorn, it is quite competitive. And it is known, especially like on the lower side of the vibrational energy. Capricorn's archetype can be a little bit known for walking your bodies just to get to the top, not having a big problem with that. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but it can get there. I mean, all archetypes have a dark side. This is one of the Capricorns, the dark side, right? But Five of Wands is not Five of Swords. It's not just like putting somebody else down and literally just trying to win, and that's it. This can be friendly competition. It can also mean petty conflicts. So watch yourself there. But sometimes we can really use this energy in the healthiest way possible, where we go out there and being playful, and we're putting ourselves out there, and it's fun with the people that we compete. It can be joyful. So if taken in a lightheartedly, you can have a lot of fun with this energy, right? Okay, I know when you play computer games with other people, for example, it can be very fun. If you don't know how to lose, or if you care too much about winning, maybe it becomes a little bit serious, and it can be a reason for fight and for conflicts later. And it goes like this with all games, whether it's a sports competition, whether it is board games, whether it is whatever. But if you take this lightly, and you can have like team spirit and bonding in that sense with other people. So yeah, the Magician. I think that what is stressed here is that it is your decision how you show up in this type of space, in a space where you can, I don't know, show what you're made of. You are made of, you have all the elements right here on the table. And the magician is very empowered. The magician is consciously moving the energy in a way that he knows how. One, he has this knowledge about how things work, and he also has takes the responsibility for how he chooses to what he chooses to create with that energy. And with this manifestation here, as I said, like, be careful where you put your energy. It's not that much that careful not to think certain things or not to feel certain things. It doesn't really work like that, in my opinion. It's more like careful what you feed, because thoughts come and go and emotions come and go, and we can get attached to them. And I think the Wheel of Fortune especially stresses, do not get attached to anything right now. Not a way of thinking, not a way of feeling, not a way of how you want to feel. And most definitely do not get attached to an idea of how things should be. Not at this point in time, for sure. Manifestation can, as is popularly, what's it called? Yeah, well, how it's popularized, let's put it this way, some kind of focuses on the, imagine how you want to live your life and manifest it, and there you go. That's how it works. I'm coming more from that perspective of the Buddhists, in which manifestation, or what we feed, is more like, what am I getting attached to, If I'm getting attached to a certain idea, then I cling to that idea, and I may manifest actually the opposite of it. I tend to have the easiest and best experiences when I'm less attached to expectations and to how things should go. That's when we enter in the flow, when we are present with what it is for what it is, and we are honoring our experience. So when I show up to a place of competition, it's up to me what stakes I put on that eventually, and how much I attach to the idea of winning or losing, or whatever. On the 9 of Cups and 7 of Cups as your challenge. Yeah, I think that's exactly it, actually. You may have the challenge because, well, we asked exactly to show up in this sense, and to definitely not get attached. That's when we get even more attached to an idea of what makes you happy in this case. What is your wish? How will you fulfill your wish, and how to get there? And sometimes we can get so attached to a vision of how my life should be, that I can dismiss everything else. And what's worse is that literature sometimes, especially romantic literature, tended to really idealize that. Oh my God, have a dream, have the dream. Dream one thing and get there, and don't let anything stay in your way. I don't think that's very healthy. Okay, you can achieve a lot of stuff, maybe, in this type of mentality, but you can also miss out on life a lot. And that whole thing with stepping on the bodies can really show up in this type of mentality. Again, if we're getting too attached of an idea for how things should be, you may get stuck there, and you may refuse other experiences in your life, and you will see your life passing by you as you are just like putting that goal for yourself, and that's it. For all the go-getters out there, you may feel offended in this. It's not meant as an offense, and definitely don't need my approval to live your life the way you want to live. This is not about this. This is simply like reading the interpretation of the cards, and this being your challenge based on the wish fulfilling thing, and the 7 of Cups, which is emotional baggage, and that's the thing. Like sometimes when we create these ideas of, or these dreams or these goals or this idea of how I want to life to be, besides the fact that I'm refusing every other experience, and I'm literally setting myself up for failure, especially if I have very high goals. But it's also very possible that we take these decisions, or this we create this vision in moments where we're very unclear emotionally. So we're pretty much looking for, I don't ever want to feel that way. No, I have the song of the bridge from Red Hot Chili Peppers in my mind. Never want to feel that way again. Therefore, all my life choices are driven from that position. I never want to feel that way again. Or I felt good in that position, or I'm idealizing a time in my life, or something I've seen on I don't know, when I was 7 on TV, and oh my God, that looks so glorious and nice. That's what I want to become when I grow up. And you end up like, my point is that what we wish for, sometimes we need to slow down and process our emotions, let go of the baggage, which is not that easy, is it? It's tricky because when we work with emotions, especially, like, depends on what kind of person are you and what else is in your chart. If you tend to be more like in human design, there's such thing called emotional authority. If you tend to be into the like have very strong emotions, when you're getting in there, you're like completely wiped out and confused, and you take your emotions as an authority, as if this is the reality. Your emotions are not your reality, and that's why it's dangerous to create visions and idea and wishes based on emotions solely. The heart desire, it's a little bit deeper. It's a few layers deeper, and it's important to get there. And we're getting exactly this Ten of Swords and Justice, because there's layers that need to be peeled off here in order to understand what's your true heart desire, what has to do with your life journey and purpose and things like that, if that's what you're looking for. But we can only get to that once we peel off these layers of what the mind is telling me things should look like only, and emotional baggage that we can operate from. With justice, it's really a karmic experience and balancing out your karmic journey. Okay, yeah, let's clarify karma. Karma is not something bad you did in the past or in a past life, and now it's coming back at you. Not at all. At least not. That's not the understanding that I'm reading from. The way I read and the way I understand karma is karma actually in Buddhism. I think it's coming from Pali or Sanskrit. I don't remember. It means action, literally just action. So basically, let me paint a picture for you. Let's say that your soul has been incarnating for I don't know how many millions of years, and had certain type of experiences, and it's coming in each and every lifetime, playing a role, a character. Like who you are right now is a character that's developing in this lifetime, but maybe you also have played this particular role or similar roles for a long time. Check out your North Node and South Node in astrology. You can get a lot about this understanding of life purpose, soul intention of what it wants to learn and kind of what it wants to move away from. South Node is what you is the experiences that you've mastered already, and it's also comfort zone. And North Node is like what you want to incorporate, and it's out of the comfort zone, so it feels a little bit but you feel attracted to that and you want that generally, kind of naturally. So karma basically would be just lessons that like tying loose ends. Let's say in a lifetime you've had a certain experience, I don't know how many times, and that needs to be resolved. You need to kind of like close up that chapter. Ten of Swords is about closing out chapters. By just closing that chapter and take the action required, have the bravery to go for a certain experience that is required for your soul to learn that chapter is being closed, and then you don't need to play that role for I don't know how many other lifetime, not even in this lifetime. Like, you can release a certain pattern. That's the point. So I think that yeah, being this your focus, you somehow being required to peel off a few layers of conditioning, of like patterns of thinking, something that it feels familiar, but it's not helping you anymore, and it's definitely staying in your way. It's of the mind. So it's beliefs, ideas about how things should be, limiting beliefs about yourself, maybe about this whole thing with the competition, or with the idea of the wishes and the desires and how things should be. So really look into that, because I think that you can have lots of benefits by letting go of the certain limiting beliefs by now. This whole work with limiting beliefs, it's tricky, because sometimes we can identify the beliefs, but we can't let them go. Yes, they come from the subconscious. Yes, we can analyze it and get it, like, okay, yeah, probably I'm not very abundant, and I don't have a lot of money because I have a strange belief system around money that only, I don't know, you need to step on bodies to get money, for example. That's just an example. And therefore I don't want to do that, therefore I don't want money. Or even more, like from past lives, maybe you've been what's the name, ascetic, no, like, living a life in renouncing physical material things. Maybe you've been a monk or whatever, a sage, and maybe you're carrying that energy. There are rituals of breaking all contracts. Justice is also about contracts, right? Breaking all contracts that your soul may have made, and release yourself from that. If that's your thing, go for it. But it's also that simple thing, like, okay, yes, I noticed this belief system, but how do I really work with them? It's not just going to necessarily magically be gone once they're brought into awareness. So you need to devise ways to engage yourself with them and really allow this Ten of Swords to happen. And it will take a little bit of fear, and it will take some pain there. Ten of Swords doesn't look like a celebration card here, does it? But it is a great celebration. It's a 10, it's an end of a chapter, and it's finally something, that layer being peeled off, that persona that you built in this particular setting, coming from those belief system, is retiring, is not needed anymore. And maybe you feel like you're betraying yourself if you let go of that dream, or if you let go of that expectation of how life should be. I don't think you do. This is, again, the perception of the mind, and it's simply a layer of defense mechanism that is not needed anymore. Advice. Twos, even though it's a sword, talks a lot about emotion. There's all this body of water here, and the lady is blindfolded, and the moon is present. So your advice is to not rely on your mind that much, because your mind now is going through this process of, ending up a chapter, and it's freaking out for sure. You probably should pay attention to this body of water behind you, and feel your way into really feel your way into everything that happens to you. See, you have the Four of Swords as well, so your mind really needs to take a break. And the Three of Cups is here, which shows that there's support, emotional support present for you. And you could celebrate that there's people around you and there's people in your life that are willing to be there with you and celebrate your progress, and celebrate this Ten of Swords, which, as I said, doesn't look much like celebration, but it is something to celebrate. Fuck yeah, when I'm finally managing to let go of a limiting belief and peel off a layer of conditioning that's been driving me fucking crazy, and behaviors that are coming attached to that, that come from that particular belief that maybe comes from when I was a child, after a scolding or after feeling rejected by family for, I don't know, not liking my drawing, who knows what. It can come from much worse experiences, but there's still it's such, all these limiting beliefs actually come from before the age of 5, where we take these decisions that I will never do this again, because that's how we process things, and we somehow always, no matter what happens to us from outside of ourselves, and no matter how little control we had at the time, we somehow conclude all the time that there's something wrong with me. Oh, my mama doesn't spend much time at home. Well, maybe she's working like crazy to feed me and stuff, and whatever, she's like going through her own processing and shit, but I somehow conclude that she doesn't love me enough, so I might not be lovable. We conclude this stuff with that. That's how we build. It's part of our wiring, but that's the beautiful thing. We learn to rewire our brain, and this is part of the rewiring process. And it's finally breaking a neuropath you've been functioning from for a long time. So, Three of Wands, you have Three of Cups. You have the support. You have the you can allow yourself to celebrate this process as it is. Celebrate changes, and yeah, make sure that your mind doesn't like go overactive here. Take time in. Take time to rest. Take time to meditate. Really meditate on whatever it is as they come, as they go. Stay present. They allow yourself this type of retreat mode. And with two of swords can also talk about communication. Like maybe make sure you're more diplomatic in this period. Yeah, I think diplomacy is necessary. But yeah, it is a moment where, like, if you see this lady's blindfolded, don't put too much weight on your mind right now. Feel your intuition. Let your intuition guide you. And yeah, create a container for yourself so you can process this. And your friends here, or these wonderful people in your life that are being supportive, can help create that container. When you meet people, talk about what really matters to you, not about I don't know, the fashion, the nails, and I don't know if you're a dude. What the fuck dudes talk about with their bodies? Sports and I don't know what. Last gadgets. Talk about your process. Talk about honoring yourself, but also honoring your friends. Don't talk too much. Try to really connect. Okay, Four of Pentacles. Oh gosh, still long reading. Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, future energy. Okay, so you're solidifying your grip on reality, and maybe you're building up a foundation for your finances if you were in need of that. Maybe you're putting together also a routine that works for you, and it has a lot of potential to you're You're grounding yourself in order to be able to see where potential rises and where can you invest in. There is a warning with this four of cups. God damn it, four of pentacles. This thing, like, this guy, yeah, great, he amassed some fortune here. Now he can get a little bit clingy, and we kept talking about clinginess here. If you're getting too clingy and if you're only focused on what's in your plate right now and how to hold on to that, you may miss out opportunities. You can't see what's being offered to you from the divine. See, this one's like showing up in from mid-air, from godlike hand out of nowhere. And this guy here is like holding so tight to the few pentacles that he has, and defining himself through that. He may miss out on that. It's good to have the fours. Fours are fantastic. We need them. It's a mental structure here with the Four of Swords. It's a physical structure on hard reality, physical reality. Just don't get clingy, baby. It's really important. You don't want opportunities to pass by. Don't cling to any idea of things should be. Don't attach yourself to physical goods, especially. Yeah, we need money. Yeah, we need some type of status and social things, but we don't need them as much as we think. Not the way we think. We attach too much on that. And I understand we live in a materialistic world, and material wealth is the one that seems to be valued the most and tell the worth of you, okay? Don't believe those stories. These are the stories that you're letting go, right? Be present with this. Yeah, I'm sure you can do it, Cappies. All right, I'm pulling out a Broomy card, and let's see what's the wisdom of the heart. Lila, 34. Look at this lady. She's really enjoying herself here in the dark. 34. Let me see. I think my coffee got cold. Okay, here we are. Damn, that's a long read. Yes, even the poem is so goddamn long. Okay. Your clever schemes. These ones. Oh, lover, be mindless. Become mad. Oh, I'm glad that this showed up. I think this was exactly your advice, wasn't it? So, oh, lover, be mindless. Become mad. Dive into the heart of the flame. Become fearless. Be like a moth. Turn away from the self and tear down the house. Then come and dwell in the house of love. Be a lover. Live with the lovers. Clean your chest from all hostility. Wash it 7 times. Beautiful. This is like where you keep your hostility from with all these emotional baggage. And this is a 7 of Cups, so I like it. So clean your chest from all hostility, wash it 7 times, then fill it with the wine of love. Be a chalice for love. Be a chalice. You must be all love to be worthy of the beloved. When going to the gathering of drunks, be a drunk. Become drunk. Your thought takes a course, dragging you in its wake. Move beyond thought. Let your heart lead. Be the leader. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. When the beloved's hair is loosened, brush it like a comb. Be a comb. I read this poem quite a few times. I never got this one with be a comb, but it's a funny ending to this poem. But I really like this. When the grace of love is revealed, be a mirror to reflect it. Okay, I hope you get it. I'm not gonna spend much time explaining it, but I'll go to the guidance. Okay. So this oracle brings you a message. You are moving through a period of not knowing. You see this lady's blindfolded here, as I mentioned. This oracle, you're moving through a period of not knowing, of time in the great void or womb of the Divine Mother. It is in the place the seed. It is in this place the seed can crack open and take root. This cannot happen in the light where all is seen and recognized. It must happen under the cover of darkness where only trust can assure one of success. This is the way of nature, the way of life, and it must be honored. This oracle brings you ancient wisdom. It guides you not to fear the darkness, but to enter it willingly. It is not for you to become lost, but to find your way. This oracle is saying that in the darkness there is the path, that tarikat, whatever that means. Not turn away from it, let it be. Be with the lack of knowing. When people ask of you so many questions and demand sensible answers to support their notion of reality, do not bow to such unworthiness and fear. Know that their minds may be fearful for your safety and their own, lest your divine madness be contagious, but that their fear is nothing to you, nothing at all. It is nothing it is not even anything to them, but they just don't know that yet. Under the sacred black cloak of the night, the Divine Mother, the Goddess, she who transfigures from darkness into light, has invited you into her chamber. In that place, you shall experience annihilation. This definitely feels like that annihilation. Okay. So, in that place, you shall experience annihilation, but only that of which is untrue, that of which would hold you back, dampen your spirit, or prevent you from bursting into full aliveness. Oh my God, I'm absolutely adoring that this showed up because it's in your focus position. For that which is true already, seated deep in her womb, and is preparing to be born strong and with good, powerful legs. So when it is time, it will leap like a wild creature, all instincts and intuition into the morning light. For this moment, however, there is darkness, and that is essential for the appearance, so imminent, beloved, of the light on its way. This oracle brings you guidance. If you find yourself to be sad, to be grieving, whether you know for what or not, or even depressed or struggling, feeling as though you are being pulled down, do not fight, bear witness instead. And you do find yourself in a rather energy. So bear witness instead. That's why you have this for also the Four of Swords here. This is very meditative energy, right? And we bear witness when we sit in meditation. Allow what is taking place to take place. Allow what is happening to happen. You shall find joy in allowing the interplay of darkness and the light to take place according to a greater unfolding rhythm of your own divine growth process. That's why justice is here. So honor your journey as it is, and definitely honor this period of blindfoldedness and darkness. Don't trust your mind to that. This is not a real annihilation. It's just of that it's untrue. So it is a shedding of skin process. And with the Wheel of Fortune here and the Eight of Wands, I think it has a very positive turn, my dear. All right, Capricorn, I hope this makes sense to you. If it resonates for you, and please like, share, and subscribe. And it will really help my channel grow. And I hope I hope you benefited from this. Have a wonderful March, and see you here soon. May our practice benefit all beings.